Hello, I'm Jody Wolf. You're watching Expoz. It is May 11, 2017, 12:02 a.m. Birmingham. Topic: This generation shall not pass away. And meaning, the rapture of the church is imminent. I want you to hear once again, a few minutes, not quite 3 minutes, Pastor J.D. F-A-R-A-G, Farg. He's in Hawaii. He's Jewish, and he has a fantastic ministry, and he's prophecy update videos. And I would subscribe. I would look for him because, I mean, these videos are, every single one are all about prophecy and nothing else. Prophecy that just occurred or prophecies that's about to occur. This is one that you all will want to hear. And so let's get started. Here we go.
In the Jewish wedding, the groom snatches away and abducts his bride. Just like with us, Jesus, our groom, will rapture us away as he abducts us as his bride. The groom in the Jewish wedding takes his bride to the chamber. They consummate Nisuin and celebrate for a period of 7 Shavua days. 7. Count them. 7. Just like with us, Jesus will take us to his bridal chamber where we will consummate and celebrate for a period of 7. It's been said that while the world is tribulating, we, as his bride, will be celebrating for 7 years. In the Jewish wedding, the party waits outside until the groom tells the best man that it's consummated, and then the guests rejoice for a period of 7 days while the bride is ensconced there in the bridal chamber. Just as with us, during our 7-year celebration, the world will go through this 7-year tribulation. In the Jewish wedding, after the 7 years, count on 7, there's a huge feast, the wedding feast of the Lamb for us after the 7 years. In the Jewish wedding, there are 3 groups present at the wedding: the groom, the bride, and the invited guests. This is very important. I'm almost done. There will also be 3 groups of people at our marriage to the Lamb. The groom is Jesus, the bride is the church, and the guests are those tribulation saints saved after the rapture, during and or at the end of the 7-year tribulation. They are not the bride. They are not the bride. In Revelation, the bride is seated on the throne. The saints are serving at the throne. There's a distinction. Those that are left behind, those that get saved during the 7-year tribulation, are not the bride. They're saved. They're saved. They're not the bride. We're the bride. The bride is caught up prior to. In the Jewish wedding, lastly, the new home of the bride was in Jerusalem, the city where God put his name, the New Jerusalem for us. And the bridegroom comes to the bride to dwell with her, and that's what it's going to be for us. Can't wait. Can't wait.
Okay. As he has just said, that there's going to be a grand feast at the end of 7 years. This is with the church and with the Jews. And at the end of that 7 years will be the grandest feast of all. And those saved during the tribulation, he mentioned that they would not be in that feast. They will be the ones who will go into the 1,000-year millennium to replenish the earth. Even those Jews that went through and came out will go in to the 1,000 years and replenish earth. But another thing I want to go back to that he mentioned earlier, and it's talking about, in fact, it's something I just did a blog on a few days ago. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they were saved during the fire. Fire was 7 times hotter. And who was in the fire with them? Well, Jesus was. So they were saved out of the fire. And you recall that midway in the tribulation, the abomination of desolation, false prophet will walk into the temple and proclaim he is God and demand to be worshipped as God. This is the desolation. And when that happens, the Jews are told to flee regardless where you are. If you're on the house, don't go in it. Get off and run. If you're in the field, drop your tools and run. They will be carried by Michael to Petra in Jordan. 2/3 of them will be cut off and die. But remember, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego is a picture of the Jews that's being cut off midway. They were saved midway in the fire. Jesus was with them the whole time. They did not have a hair on their arms singed. Those who are cut off midway through the tribulation, the Jews that die, the 2/3, they will be saved. The whole house of Israel will be in heaven at the end. And I am extremely glad and happy to hear that, because that's something I've always thought about until the last maybe 2 or 3 months. I said, there's no way. They'll be cut off, but they'll still have a breath. And with that breath, and you all remember, with that breath, they will call out to the Lord. So they will be, as Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they will be saved midway through the tribulation. Even though they will be slaughtered in the streets, they will be saved. The remaining 1/3 will be carried to Petra, where he will be taken care of. The Jews will be taken care of, fed, and protected during that remaining 3.5 years. Guys, I do not believe that we're going to wait to the very last day of the 70 years that is a generation before the church will be taken out. That's not going to happen. Too many people believe that if there is a pre-trib rapture, that's when it will occur. But even if it was, no one knows the day or the time. No one knows the day or the time of the tribulation. What kicks that off? Apparently it's going to be the rapture. But you'll know when it's near, the season, the month, and possibly even the very week. WEEK. Guys, be prepared. Any moment from right now forward, we can be called home. Jody Wolf Expoz.